Janet here for Card Player TV for another edition of The Poker Buzz. This past month, we've seen high-stakes cash game action online like we've never seen before. It's being driven by one player, Isildur1. He's been taking all comers including Patrick Antonius, Phil Ivey, and Tom Dwan. Millions of dollars have been exchanged between the players, and this week, Tuesday, Isildur had his biggest losing session to the tune of $4.2 million, and it was against Brian Hastings. We've got Brian on the phone to talk about the session. Hi Brian, how are you?
I'm good, Christy. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me. I know you're super busy. You've got finals this week, is that right?
I do. I actually just took my Intro to Wines final at 9 a.m. Unfortunately, I didn't get to drink during it, though, but it's all right.
So you're studying for finals, and then you just decide to play the biggest cash game of your life. How does that happen?
Well, I was kind of studying while I was watching Brian Townsend playing against Isildur, and then basically us and Cole South have been talking a lot about playing Isildur lately, and just watching Brian play while I studied kind of really gave me an urge to play. And then when Brian said he was too tired, I really felt like stepping in for a few hours. I mean, I thought it was only going to be for an hour or two, but I ended up going 5 or whatever. But obviously happy with how it turned out.
Now, since Isildur has kind of stepped on the high-stakes cash game scene, and he's been playing, the top players in the world, doing well against some, poorly against others, what was your kind of whole take on who this mystery guy was, what kind of player he was? What was your kind of look at this whole situation?
Well, when he first busted onto the scene, I really had no idea who he was, honestly, although I did play him really early when he started playing a session at No Limit Hold'em, and what I took out of that was that he was actually a really good player. I didn't really know what to expect because I'd never seen the guy before and didn't know much about him except for one of my friends who plays 25-50 getting cleaned out for a bunch against him. But then after a while, I kind of learned that he's this Blom 90 on Euro sites. He's been beating those games for a long time. So, but I definitely respect his game. But I think his main problem is that he just plays for really, really long sessions, and it's hard to play your game the whole time doing that.
You said you'd been watching. Had you really dissected his game and looked at hand histories before you decided to play?
Not the first time. Before this session, I have. Like I said, Brian Townsend, Cole South, and myself have been talking a lot of poker recently, and every time we play a session, we'll post hands to see what the other guys think about it and kind of do that thing. And since Isildur's been in action a lot lately, we've been playing him a lot and kind of doing the same things, analyzing our hands against him and analyzing how he plays.
Did you have to change your general style to play against Isildur? He likes to play big pots. You're playing for high stakes. Did you have to change the way that you generally play PLO heads up?
I don't think I really have a specific style at PLO heads up. I think my style is more based on figuring out what the opponent's doing and then adjusting to that. And I mean, I think in heads up poker, that's the most important thing. Right. Anyway, I just find out what's going on with the opponent and just make adjustments accordingly. But I mean, I basically just start with my basic game and play off that as I learn more about the opponent.
Now, can you kind of give me a summary of exactly how the match started and how it progressed?
Well, when the match started, Isildur had been playing Jungleman 12 at No Limit Hold'em for a few hours, then followed by playing Brian Townsend at PLO for a few hours. So I came in fresh, and he had already been playing for about 9 hours. And right when I got into the match, right off the bat, I just started running really hot. I won several coin flippy hands. I mean, just standard stuff in PLO, but I mean, I really got off to a fortunate start, and I think that caused him to start playing a bit worse pretty early in the match.
Yeah, what do you think about those projections and the forum posts showing that you ran, $3 million above expected value?
Well, I mean, that is absolutely true with regards to the all-in adjusted EV. Basically, I mean, but what I did do also is I only played about 2,800 hands, and even not factoring in that running above expected value all-in luck, I still was expected to win about $1.4 million. So 14 buy-ins in 2,800 hands is still kind of a lot. So I'm really happy with the way I played.
Absolutely. Now, there are all these sites who are tracking the results of high-stakes cash games. Do you think that ultimately helps or hurts the action?
I think it definitely brings a lot more attention to the action. I mean, I think it's really cool as a fan. I mean, I haven't been playing like a ton of poker. Like I'm in school, so I just kind of play a bit here and there, maybe like 5 to 10 hours a week, that kind of thing. So I mean, from that angle, it's great for me to just be able to kind of know what's going on in the high stakes games. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal with regards to creating or destroying action. I think players at the high stakes are kind of making their own reads, and even if they're losing, I mean, they understand that it can be just short-term variance. And another thing is that high stakes players tend to have pretty big egos, so even if they're losing, a lot of them will think that they can just turn it around when sometimes it's not the case.
Is there proper etiquette for quitting high stakes heads-up matches? I mean, you gave him a warning, you told him you were tired. Is that the normal etiquette to tell him you're going to quit in a certain amount of time, or?
Yeah, I mean, generally it's the right thing to do to give your opponent a warning if you're planning on quitting anytime soon. I would certainly, the exception to this would be if you know your opponent would not give the same for you. Like there are guys like, well, I'm not going to name names here, but basically, I mean, Isildur is the type who would be respectful and like inform about a quit. So I actually really was tired and felt like quitting at the time, but then kind of realized that that'd be a little bit of an unethical thing to do. So because of that, I decided to keep playing.
When you do give a player a warning, a time limit, saying that you're going to quit soon, if they're losing, do you think that kind of goes to your advantage because they know they only have 30 minutes to try and make back some money, so they might change their play and not play optimally?
I mean, in a way, yes. I mean, that wasn't my direct intention. I mean, I know I said I was going to quit in 30 minutes and ended up playing another 2 hours or whatever I did. But, I mean, my intention at the time was really that I was tired and I wanted to quit in 30 minutes. But, I mean, yes, indirectly I do think it gives an advantage because he was stuck a lot and kind of playing really aggressively. And I think him thinking he only had 30 more minutes to win it all back against me, it kind of made him play even more aggressively and gave me more opportunities to exploit.
Now, against some players, Isildur has done extremely well, and against others, he's struggled. Do you have any insight as to why that may be, and are certain players having trouble adjusting to his play?
I do think so in some cases. I mean, a lot of it is also just short-term luck. Like, I know, for example, Brian Townsend, who I've mentioned a couple times, played him a couple times in the last few days and ran $2 million under all-in EV, whereas I ran like $2.8 million over. So, I mean, the difference in my results and his results is basically, for the most part, luck. I do think some other players, though, have struggled to adjust to Isildur's game. Probably more so in No Limit than in PLO, but I've seen it a bit in PLO as well.
Well, a lot of people have been talking specifically about Tom Dwan. Do you have any insight as to why maybe Dwan has struggled against Isildur?
Well, I mean, Tom Dwan is also a very aggressive player, and Tom Dwan is also the kind of player who is not really apt to quit when he's losing in a session. So just because of that, I feel like it was kind of a something's got to give session against, or something's got to give like scenario against Isildur. Like both of them are playing really aggressively, and both of them are not the type to walk away from a session. So right. I think when you have two players like that playing each other, someone was bound to win a lot of money, and if Tom ran better, it could have been him instead. But that's basically what I think happened there.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Now, you mentioned in your blog that you didn't have 100% of yourself, and we won't go into details on that. But did the amount of money that was being exchanged affect you or come into your mind at all? I know it's, as a pro, you've got to have a disregard for the money. But is that possible when you're playing for millions?
Actually, honestly, not really. I mean, one thing is when you're playing 6 tables of heads up, I mean, it's really hard to think about anything but the decision you're making right now. Mm-hmm. You're just making such quick, snap decisions that you really can't be thinking about much of anything else. And then another thing is I have been having a pretty successful year online. So, right now, for the piece I did have of myself, I was very comfortably rolled for that. So I guess the money, there wasn't a situation where I would have really felt a big hurt if I lost 5 to 10 buy-ins or something. So I felt pretty comfortable, I think.
Do you think Isildur will stick around in the high-stakes games for much longer?
Well, I mean, I think he will make every effort to. I'm not sure of his current financial situation. I mean, obviously he had a really tough day the other day. But I definitely do think he has the talent to be playing high-stakes poker, and I do expect we'll see more of him in the future at some point. I'm not sure when that'll be, but he's definitely a very, very talented player.
I think I speak for most everyone in the poker world by saying if you set up a time and you guys are going to play, can you let us know, because I've got some popcorn, I'm going to sit back and I'd like to watch that match.
Well, you might have to check
Might
out
have to just rail full tilt.
the 2+2 NVG forum is generally on that.
Okay.
I mean, I could tell a couple friends, but I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna send out a big smash.
Of course. I'm just kidding. I'll just have to sit and keep those high stakes cash game tables open.
You should probably just sit by your computer like 24 hours a day.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much, Brian. Do you have more finals?
I do. I have one more on Monday, an econ final. Got to do a bunch of studying for that this weekend, but hopefully I'll get a chance to celebrate this win a bit as well, since unfortunately I haven't really been able to do that yet, since all my friends are busy studying for their own finals.
All right, well, good luck with that, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Christy.
Christy Arnett with Brian Hastings for Card Player TV.